everyone. So I think you should be the only person
Okay,
who should.
perfect. And then there's also Kim, who's Odd Gem, if you could give her permission to speak as well. I can tag her in the chat.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah,
Okay,
so I can
1 second.
add additional permission for Kim also.
I'm not sure. Maybe we have more of the Wonder team here. There's so many people I can't scroll. But if other people in the Wonder team are here, just ping me in chat, and I'll ping Hannah, and she can help you.
Yeah.
If you want to talk, they might not want to talk.
Yeah, okay. So if they want to speak up, just let us know because I can give you permission for that one. Because I don't want, other people to interrupt us with
100%.
mics on. Yeah, which is crazy. Let me just manage it so we can double check on that one if I manage the permissions.
I've been in here for a few minutes, and I don't think anyone can unmute themselves. So I think you did it.
Oh, sweet.
I love the organization.
I'm trying, I'm really trying my best. The smoothest. Oh, wait. Connect, speak. Okay, it seems like I gave you permission.
Yeah, previously in the last. Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking to me.
Oh, yeah. No. You have already. You have your dedicated. You have your dedicated permission. So actually, can you try it out? Can you try it out, Kim? If you can unmute yourself. I hope it's working.
Maybe she's AFK. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
We can go ahead though.
Okay, so actually I will start the spaces also on Twitter. So I will just start the event now, and then it's gonna be on my phone, so they can hear us on Twitter also. So let's see. Okay, got it. So my mic is on. Yeah, my mic is off. Wait. Okay, now my mic is on. So hello everyone. Let's kickstart this event. Let me give you a real introduction at the very beginning of this event. My name is Han, and today I'm here with Anne from Wonderverse. And basically, this is our community stand-up, which is a collab event we co-host on weekly basis with special community builders. And as I said, this week's guest co-host is Anne from Wonderverse. And this time we are speaking about all the things that matter. So Wonderverse, the future of product management and projects, how community building is going in a decentralized community, or even bot attacks. We have some experience with that altogether. And after we are buzzing on these topics, we are going to talk about showcase their very own way of growing the Wonder Guild. So without further ado, let's kickstart it. Just a quick note is that our community calls, our hangouts are recorded and will be uploaded as a private video on YouTube. So we started our YouTube library. So those who cannot make it to the call can tune in afterwards. So
amazing.
Yeah. So actually, let me introduce Anne and Wonder in few words before I give you all the spot. I put all the spotlight on you. Basically, Anne is the head of community at Wonder. Anne is growing the Wonderverse community in full force. And I'm really happy you are here now because it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Because we had a meeting a few weeks ago and decided on joining forces, organizing both fun and educational events together for you all who is here today. And as I said, this time we speak about different topics. So if you're not familiar with Wonder is a full-on Web3 native project management tool which makes DAOS life and decentralized contribution task management easy. But I'm pretty sure Anne can put the vision and the mission of Wonder into words in a much better way. So it's time I give you the stage, and I'm putting the spotlight on you totally. Like, could you tell us more about Wonder? Like, what is it exactly?
Of course.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I think the simple tagline, is think of Wonder as Web3 Asana or Trello, Web3 project management. How I've been thinking about it a lot is almost as a funnel where we are starting to build in this kind of bear market or this lack of interest market. We're starting to build Web3 tools that establish this funnel, right? And it's like top might be social media, middle might be things like guilds, and then the bottom of the funnel is Wonder, where that is where you can really capture contributors' engagement through bounties and tasks, and also have the Web3 selectivity of who's your core team, who are the contributors you can trust, how do you verify that trust, and that's what Wonder does. That's what the platform we're building does, and it's currently live. People can check it out. I posted the guild. Our Wonderverse guild in the chat, and I can also post our website at the end if people want to check that out and check out the platform. It's currently live, and we're actually about to launch. This is some alpha, but async onboarding for DAOs. So no longer do they have to go through a partnership and business development team. They can just automatically do it themselves and spin it up asynchronously, autonomously. As such are the Web3 values.
Love it. Actually, congratulations on your public product launch. It was in mid-June.
Thank you.
You put together a pretty impressive campaign, so all hats off. I love it how you used Twitter for engaging your community and how you wrapped the meaning, like the whole mission and vision, in like really brief, and how you promoted it to the wider community. I love about Wonder how like smooth it is to kickstart because we already have our workspace set up for Guild. And if anyone is not familiar with it, it's really easy to join Wonderverse. If you go to Wonderverse Twitter, you can even have the link to sign up. And basically, even if you are someone who is seeking for contribution, you can build up your own contribution platform. And even if you are a DAO or any online community that is like working decentralized, I would say, because, it's really hard to say like what DAO is actually. So I'm trying to put it in different words all the time. So if you're one of them, you can just go and sign up and you can set up your own workspace.
One comment I want to add to that, Hannah, is we actually have a ton of partners. And the reason we have a Discord and the reason Kim and I are building a Wonder community is because every Friday, and today's Friday, so we're going to post it this afternoon. Kim and I post a list of the top bounties on the platform. We have a ton of different partners throughout the Web3 ecosystem, and they post their communities bounties or tasks on that platform. So you can very easily start to discover other DAOs, other Web3 organizations that are interested in finding contributors to do work. Some of them are paid, some of them are unpaid, but it's a really great discovery tool for those who are interested in getting more involved in like Web3 building, whether that be from the technical, I'm not going to say technical, whether it be from the coding side, the dev side, or marketing, sales, community management, whichever side people are looking to get into. So it's a really powerful tool. And in the community, in our Discord, Kim and I, we show those in the contributor channel every Friday, just so people can be privy to what's happening on the platform. But yeah, and just like another piece about the vision is I really think a big part of Wonder is really imagining how do we optimize this decentralized, this democratic, this asynchronous, this autonomous work world we want to build, and how do we coordinate across the world, right? How do we build a DAO that has the founding team in Nigeria, and then in Argentina, then in Canada, then in Singapore, right? How do we build tools that allows us to coordinate across the globe. And that's really Wonder's vision, is to enable people who care about this world and care about building something meaningful to help either their fellow citizens, or they have an amazing idea, to bring that to fruition without being stuck in the local environment. So I'm excited that I'm at a company that has that bold vision and is seeing Web3 bigger than just like the financial, and is seeing Web3 as like potentially a tool for change. So, yeah.
Let's just say that I absolutely love it that you actually have like a dedicated channel in your own community where you highlight these contribution opportunities, because the way how I was doing it, it's a bit more sneaky, because I was stalking around DAOS. Actually, I checked Andrew's profile on Wonder, and I was see like, okay, like who is up here on Wonder? And I saw that like, oh, there's Orca, there's Radical, oh, Gitcoin, even Layer 2 DAO, and like a lot more. But actually, I love it how you just make it much easier, like make the flow with an ease, for anyone who's interested. So if anyone here in the audience is interested in this, like just join their Discord and you can find everything there, which is amazing. So you don't have to talk around how I did it. It's not easy. It's not easy, right?
And I will say the product team's working hard on actually improving our Explore page, where you can look at the different DAOs or Web3 orgs on our platform, and also you can look at the different bounties that are public for anyone to contribute to. So we're actually going to start adding search features, and hopefully we're going to build out the Wonder bot, which can basically gives anyone who's on the platform live updates about their contributions through Discord chat, Discord DM, excuse me. We're actually going to try to build that bot out so it can ping the Wonder Discord to show every Friday, and so Kim don't have to, and I don't have to like do it manually like we're doing it now, but it can ping the Discord and show people like what are the hot bounties currently, where are people looking at the most, what is the most maybe profitable bounty that someone can do. And I love also the ability to, like, even if you can't do a technical or a coding or a dev bounty, just being able to look at them and look at what people are looking for skill wise, that can be a really good way to guide your dev journey into Web3 as well.
Absolutely. I love how you are already, as a community builder, already thinking of like how you can start automating different like steps that you are doing now as a non-tech part of the Wonder team, which is like sometimes can be really struggling to realize like what is something that you have to do it on your own every single time. Like you have to post this because it's always changing or something, or maybe it's something that you can actually just do it like with the, the magic of tech. So this is something that I would like to touch on later on, but we are talking still about like your visions. And I know that like your vision is like to help DAOs to organize like more efficiently, like to have this cooperation economy. And I'm really curious, like, what would you highlight? Like how online communities, DAOs can benefit actually from using using Wonder. Oh my God, sorry. Like, what would you say that it's the most thing that should be highlighted, that this way, like if they are doing it this way or that way, they can make the most out of your product?
I was muted. Sorry, I was talking. LOL.
Okay.
Noob. But no. So I think a big. So I think Wonder and Guild both are really powerful tools for that. But yeah, no. I mean, I think that the question was about automating community. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Actually, it was automating, and then about like how online communities can actually benefit from starting.
Thank you.
Like how to kickstart it.
Yeah. So I think the big thing is that, let's be honest, everyone, Discord isn't cutting it. Like as an organization tool, Discord is not it. Like it's just too. It's not built for building a project. It's just not. So I think that's where Web3 project management platforms like Wonder come in, where it's built for that, right? It's built for building timelines, building milestones, having tasks being sent to other contributors. And if you look at any kind of legit company out there, most of them all use project management softwares to organize, especially if they get to a large scale. And especially if we're talking about a global DAO, we're not going to always be awake at the same time, just due to like the fact we live on a Earth, right? We live on a globe. So I think it's really important to have those tasks as like their own distinct entities and assigned to people, so then we can more easily get stuff done with each other. And again, like I think Discord is a good supplementary tool to like building community, to getting bounties out there with you can post the Wonder link to your bounty in your Discord to tell people it's available. But I think really from a core team perspective, it is not sustainable to organize in Discord. And I think we're seeing that every day when there's Discord hacks, there's things that happen. We need a dedicated platform that can more easily do it, to kind of do that organizational competence piece. And that's one of the big reasons I joined Wonder, is because I knew that that was one of the missing pieces I saw in the last bull market, is it was just chaos. And people who wanted to join Web3 really had no ins, because the core teams were so frazzled, like, jumping around on Discord. But if you have a tool where you can, here's a task we need done, you can start to have that more managerial perspective and then disseminate what needs to be done in the DAO, in the Web3 org, much more easily. And, having that link to the task too has it kind of a more consolidated place. You can read what the task is, get more context. And then if you need to ask more questions, you can ping in a Discord or Telegram. But I think we need that, project management layer if we're going to be a successful Web3 movement.
I totally agree with you on these, because Discord can be really overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah, pings everywhere, too many new messages.
Yes, even like if we're not even talking about DMs, because things get lost in DMs really easily. Let's just say that.
So true.
And then it's not an option to like disable DMs, because then what if someone needs help and they cannot reach out or anything?
And I think too, Hannah, like the overlap between support and like company or project management has been a real killer for Web3, because like you're highlighting, it's like, well, the Discord's for community building, it's for support, it's for product development, it's for core team communication. One learning that I've taken from the core team as a community builder is that, like, I think a lot of core teams don't want all the noise, especially devs, especially project managers, right? Their focus is building whatever they're building. And it's not necessarily, being in the Discord talking with everybody all the time. So one learning that I've taken from our core team at Wonder is that people don't want to be in the Discord. And I think that's like, maybe it's hard for people to hear, but I think it's a critical learning that we need better tools to have interfaces between community and core teams, right? Because core teams are the experts. Core teams are the people building, people deving, people, community can be part of core team, but they have the knowledge. But we need a better way to disseminate that. And I think that's through project management tools that are Web3 native, that are also much more like labile. I'm not sure if people know that word, but much more like flexible, to allow for bounties, to allow for public and private tasks, to allow for different levels of permission, so that you can target who you want the task to go to. And we also have pods and such within the Wonder app too. So I think that's another key thing, is like that flexibility of the product is really, really key.
Of course, absolutely. Because as you said, also, like when you are, for example, an organization that is building a product or something, and you have the devs with you, like they don't need to face with all these info that is in the community building side of Discord, because you know how it is. Everybody has demands. Everybody wants something, a new feature, something they found or anything. And you need your devs to be focused on something else. Like they have this totally different kind of like schedule, and we need them. Like, as you said, like the knowledge is with them. We're building the community. We are like, getting the engagement, but like the devs are just, it's another bird. Like it's totally different. So it's amazing if you have like a separate like platform for that one.
Totally. And I think I want to highlight, Hannah, that Wonder, we like I said, we have permissions. So you can port over the roles and permissions you have in Discord to the Wonder, to your Wonder workspace for your DAO. So essentially, you can have permissions where it's like, okay, well, this task, this pod. Okay, So there's a task that's in a pod in the workspace. The task is limited, so only those who have access to the pod can see the task. Right, so that allows you to have a little bit more granularity and allows you to say, okay, this task shouldn't be seen by everybody. This is only for the devs. But then you can have another pod that's community, where all those bounties are visible for everybody in the community to take on. So for Wonder's example, Kim and I have a community pod where we post bounties for different community activities. So we have a bounty for, we do a workshop every other week, and we give topics that people can make a presentation on, and then present it for an hour to our community in our Discord. And that those can be seen by everybody. So I think having that functionality within the Web3 space is like a huge level up to any Web2 project management platform, because Web2 project management platforms, generally they're closed environments, right? But Wonder starts to play with this idea of, well, what is really a company? Who can be a part of a company? What can that look like? So it starts to interface that kind of more DAO mentality with a project management software, which I think is really, really unique and innovative, and is going to be critical for us to continue building meaningful DAOs and meaningful Web3 organizations.
Yes, actually, Wonder is that where like we can say like Web2 meets Web3, if I can say it like this, because I love how inclusive your workspace is, like your whole mentality of like, hey, you want to be part of this, check out the contribution, contribution opportunities. So it's like they can have also like private ones, but like this, as you can set up like public contribution like opportunities, this is amazing. And if you're familiar with like how the Wonder workspace looks like, basically you see the DAO that you search for or something like this, and then in that DAO there are these different pods, right, that the owners can set up. And then everybody can see the pods, or the pods can be hidden also. How does it work?
Yeah, so pods can be permissioned by roles, and they can also be permissioned. We're working on like token permissioning, NFT permissioning potentially in the future, but they can be permissioned also just by, you can add users to it. So again, it's really, really flexible and intentionally built that way. So you can really, decide, how do we want to gate this pod? And then you can make the pod public or private. So you can make, the task seen by everybody in the workspace, or you can make it seen by only people in that pod. So then that starts to allow, again, that granularity of like, well, maybe we don't want everyone to see the engineering pod, but the community pod, everyone can see that, or maybe everyone can see the partnerships pod, or, whatever example you want to go with.
Yeah. And how does it work if you would like to be a contributor? Because I know that like you can be invited, which is really smooth. Like as an owner or an admin of a DAO, like a DAO workspace, you can invite different people with invite links. But if you are from the outside, like how you can be accepted, how you can be entitled for one contribution bounty.
Yeah. So again, you have like a lot of features. So you can have bounties be public, right? So if somebody goes to your workspace, they can see them in the workspace like page. And then you can also have the like accept into the workspace, and that's the next feature, where you can have that be gated in many different ways. You can have it be invite only. You can have it be, people can request to join, you can accept them, or you can gate it by token, amounts of tokens in the address. Potentially in the future, we're doing NFTs. So you can really gate by many, many different features. So it really is like up to that DAO or that Web3 org, like how they want to visualize what their workspace is going to look like. And again, I think that's really the power of Wonder compared to some other project management platforms that are competitors, because they're not as flexible, right? Wonder is like really, really flexible and allows, if you want privacy, you can have privacy and use that by Web3 address gating. But if you want it to be public and you want contributors and you want people to apply to different bounties that you might have, or maybe you don't have the expertise in-house and you need, a designer, having that bounty can be useful as well. So that flexibility, I think, is really the power of like imagining one's own DAO or org through the platform.
Okay.
And also, I want to be clear too that even a IRL business could use Wonder. It's not even limited to like a Web3 organization. We're really trying to push the narrative that Web3 is a tool for anybody to use. And, a local business could use Wonder. There's no reason that it has to be only siloed into Web3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like any kind of contribution that like people have in mind, like it doesn't have to be like Web3. Let's just say that. Let's just emphasize the fact that like how smoothly flexible like Wonder is. I love it. Like
it's really good. Like even as a employee, I'm like, it's really, really good. It's top tier.
Like anything that I just asked you, like, hey, how can it be set up? And you just said like, okay, you can do this and this and this. Like to any question I asked, like it's all like all the creativity that you can use to build up your own workspace. This is amazing. Like different.
I think that's why I love Guild as well, right? And that's why I love that we're partnering, is that I think Guild's very similar, right? Guild, the power of Guild is one's own imagination. And I think the same is true for Wonder, right? It's like we're trying to imagine the future of work here. And in the future of work, who says that like, you can't have some things public, some things private? Who says you can't have everything public if you want or everything private if you want, right? I think we need to break down those binaries and decide as individuals, as companies, as communities, what do we want democratically? And then I love that the platform can morph, evolve, and change based on changing sensibilities, right? Like maybe in the beginning it's all public and that's great. And then maybe as time goes on, the community's like, actually, I want this to be more private and I want this to be more gated. And then that can be an option too, right? It's like these Web3 tools are so flexible. And I think that's their power, where Web2 tools are very, very rigid in their abilities. So I think that's kind of one big plus one for both Guild and Wonder.
Exactly. I think this is where like our platforms align. And this is why we're joining forces and moving forward together, because like both of us is building a product that is for the community. So we are listening to them, like what they want, and then we are considering all the things that they want when we are having, product sessions and all these things, because obviously we would like to give the people what they need, and what they need, flexibility, right? Like,
yeah, so I think that's life, right? We need flexibility in life. And I don't know why historically what our products were that we used didn't reflect that reality, right?
Exactly. Like we just give you guys like the playground and you can do whatever you want, use
exactly.
You show us what you can do. I love it. I love this every time. Yeah?
No, I was going to say, go finish your statement. Sorry.
I just wanted to say, like, every time I go, for example, on Guild, or even when I was stalking Wonder, like DAOS, like who is up there, I just want to see what they can do, I want to get the inspiration from them. Like, okay, you set up these different pods. Okay, how you are doing it. I was even checking, like, what kind of bounties out there, because this is how we learn from each other. So this is what I wanted to say. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah, no, and that's part of the collaborative nature of Web3, right? Or the Web3 movement, or even the technology, is that like why are we so scared of sharing? Why are we so scared of connecting with each other and building bonds? And now we can do that globally, right? Now we don't have to do that within our local community or even our country. We can do that across the earth, right? We're one planet, right? So I think that is really going to unlock a lot of human ingenuity that was before gated historically and contemporarily as well. But yeah, the other thing I want to comment on is the potential integrations that Guild and Wonder can do. I know that our devs are working together, and I've been talking to Terry, who's our head of engineering, I guess. I think he's the CTO actually. But I've been talking to him about Guild and sharing some of the new features Guild has and the power they have on unlocking things for Wonder. And I think that, the flow I see is your social media, you learn about a project, you join their guild, and then the guild can have the reward of unlocking the workspace, right? And then you can also have the unlock of the Discord and the community as well. So you have a flow of you're interested, you go to guild, you get the two options, whether you join the community or you join the project management platform Wonder, and then you can kind of explore from there. And I think that flow is like a huge unlock and something we have not had, and that's all on Web3, right? That's all using Web3 tech. You don't even have to go to anything like Web2. It's like all of it's following your address. And now as platforms, we can see who are the people interested through Guild. We can import those addresses and do airdrops, do token drops. It starts to really capture the social data on chain, and I'm nerding out about it. But I'm so excited for Wonder X Guild platform integrations.
Exactly. Like how we are joining forces is enables so many things, to make onboarding so much easier for people to actually growing their engagement within the community. So if we speak about how they get recognized from Twitter, for example, or how they are getting more and more contributors. So the whole thing is how one interested person is actually becoming your core contributor or just your core community team. It's crazy.
Yeah. And again, it's global, right? It's this is not limited by where you are located. So anybody from around the world can go to Wonder's Guild, and this integration's pending. We haven't launched yet, but I'm hoping soon. But when the integration's ready, you can have somebody from anywhere around the world find Wonder's Guild and then join the Wonder workspace and then start collaborating, whether it be development, marketing, design, community, right? And start to really be a part. And I think Discord was a little bit of a blocker for people to really become contributors because it wasn't clear what you could do, right? But with Wonder, it starts to really clarify, oh, I can go to bounties. Oh, I can go to tasks. Oh, I can explore. And then if there's a task, I can link that task in the Discord and say, hey, is anybody working on this? Or what's the progress on this? And it starts to tie together a real organization. And I don't think that was as feasible before this moment in time, especially with layer 2 unlocks like Polygon and other L1s that are faster and other L2s, that the low transaction fee starts to allow anybody anywhere to really engage socially and economically in Web3 in a way that was when it was only ETH L1 and Bitcoin was not possible, right? It was just too expensive.
Exactly. How we are getting more and more inclusive. It's opening the world for everyone who is interested, because I know that getting started can be really scary sometimes because, for example, if we just talk about Discord, you just hop in a Discord, you just see there are these so many channels right after under each other. Yeah, and then you are just oh my god, and then you just open a channel and then you just all the things that you see is just hi GM and
yeah.
Oh my god. So
there's no focus.
No, not at all. And then we're having more and more moderators to manage it, or we just wake up 1 hour earlier. But yeah, when you're invested in the project, like, it can be scary. But if you have all the info that you need, like, in front of you on a platter, like, it's easy. It's easy. So we make it more inclusive for them.
Yeah, and I think that as well, like, people have relied so much on Discord, and Discord's a hard tool, right? I think that, I was talking to Kim about this the other day, where it's like, Discord's a new tool. Like, it only recently became very popular within I would say, like, the cultural zeitgeist. Like, it's only recently very popular. So I think that it's a new tool for a lot of people, and people are very unclear about how it works. So I think that having Wonder as a way of the first place for people to go, and then they go to the community if they want to engage more socially, that's a much better flow than like jumping in the Discord for what reason, right? The Discord is for people who are really committed or people really interested in the project, and then like the super users. But the Wonder platform can be, for those who are just generally like interested in the project and might want to start contributing to it. So I think that's a much better flow instead of directing everyone to the Discord. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think when someone is having like a Wonder workspace up, and there anyone can see like what are the tasks, what the tasks are, what are the contribution opportunities, they can decide like by themselves, like, okay, do I want to be part of this community? Like, does it align with me? So it makes it easier than just jumping into the Discord, reading a lot of kind of things, and then maybe it's for you, you just don't realize because there's so many things going on. But with the dashboard that you like set up with Wonder, it's so much easier.
Totally. Yeah. It's just like, it's just one of those things where I don't know how we didn't have it before. And I'm trying to get people like excited about that, like excited about this, that this is going to be like the way of working in the future. Like, this is how we have to do this in order to be effective, efficient. And also in order to like onboard people in a way that is not overwhelming. Because I mean, the historic and current review of Discord for new people and for, just everybody under the sun is that Discord is too overwhelming, right? In Wonder's Discord, Kim and I have really been on the thing of like as few channels as possible, as clear as possible, role gated as possible. But even still, like it gets bulky. So I think that moving to a project management system like Wonder is the best way, and then having community for any of the really, really excited people to flow over into, who really want to understand, like, okay, how does Discord work? How do I interact on this tool? But Wonder is very straightforward and clear, in my opinion. And if it isn't for anybody, please jump in our Discord and tell us, and we'll put that on the product team's roadmap for, making it more clear. But again, like that, I don't know how we were doing it before, and I don't want to go back. So.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah. Like, Wonderverse is the future of PM and like decentralized contribution. So totally. It's amazing. Shout out to you all out there, like working on Wonder. We do love it. We already have our workspace set up, but we are still like trying to like figuring out like how decentralized contribution works for us. So we are still taking a while to get the hang of it in terms of like figuring out like what kind of things we should put out public or not. But yeah it's well, huge, and I would say.
And I think kind of that's the big question. Just like I've seen this on Twitter. I'm not sure if anyone follows David Phelps. You totally should. He's one of the main people leading over at JokeDAO, which again we're all bullish on. But aside from my JokeDAO show, I think that like it's very clear, and I'm not sure if people know. I'm forgetting her name, Chase Chapman, but like. The big critique of DAOs right now is, why do they have to be big? Why do they have to scale? Why do they have to grow? Not everything needs to be 10,000 people, right? And not everything should be 10,000 people or can be. So I think that the big thing right now that a lot of Web3 experts are thinking about is, does everything need to be public? The whole point of Web3 is that you have the permission ability, right? You have the ability to say private, public, something in between, right? The something in like the gray. And I think that that's kind of the big question. And I think Wonder offers solutions to that. I think Guild offers solutions to that, and saying you don't have everything be public, right? You can gate by token ownership, by NFTs for very engaged users, by maybe eventually we could do by time on chain once people start getting on chain credentials, or age of wallet, right? We can start to really do some data mining stuff to kind of consolidate, like maybe it doesn't need to be a lot of people. And maybe that's another incentive to be a participant if you need to be around for 6 months, right? And it's not just like you join and then you automatically can contribute, right? That doesn't have to be how this works. So anyway, a lot of big thinkers, including myself, and I'm pretty sure you guys at Guild are asking the question, do we have to be public with everything? Does every DAO have to be huge? And my answer to that question is no. DAOs are tools to serve a purpose. And if the purpose isn't to be, a massive contributor network, then it doesn't have to be big.
Absolutely. I think I saw Chase's tweet about it, and this is what got me thinking about this whole new unique challenge we have to face with. Actually, okay, I know that those are the big things now, but since we are like a team, our core team is aiming to build a product, does decentralized work methods working for us or not? We just have to figure it out.
We have to be thoughtful.
Yeah, exactly. And even on the tech side or even on the non-tech side of the work, because we already had one experience. If I'm talking about my own field, non-tech, community related, I had a really big research on how should anyone contribute as a community contributor. How should we give work tasks to someone, which is you cannot really get exact rewards for. So I cannot just tell someone listen, can you just moderate the channels? So
it requires trust.
Yes, exactly. But it's really hard to build up. So yeah, this is something we really have to put a lot of thoughts on, this, how big the core community should be, how not, and small, and all these things. Yeah.
And I think too, that's a big thing that we're thinking about currently at Wonder is what is the best flow for, vetting contributors? Because that's something that the content community pod and also engineering pod have especially struggled with. It's how do we know you can do the thing you're saying? And, historically it's been, resumes or CVs or references, right? But we know that those things can be discriminatory. Those things can have bias in them. So I think we're really trying to ask, how do we, in a more non-coercive, trusting way, build a system where you can either maybe apply for something, show previous work through Web3 technology. I think that's kind of where a lot of the product team at Wonder is currently thinking is okay, well, how do we make John, who is our senior project manager, he's thinking about do we want to do quests, something similar to Guild? How do we start to understand where people's skill levels are? So we don't have to have people submit work and then have this tension moment happen where it's well, this isn't up to snuff for our org, and then they did the work already, and then now they're frustrated because they didn't get paid, right? So I think we really need to figure out ways to avoid that frustration moment of well, I did work, why aren't you going to pay me for it? Or setting up better expectations up front to say well, here's the process in order for you to get paid for work. So I think that's very, very a very critical thing that a lot of, I think, orgs in Web3 are thinking about currently, because on-chain data is not developed enough for people outside of maybe devs. But for things like marketing or community management or content, those things are not on-chain technically. So I think that's where really it becomes harder, honestly.
yeah, it's something that like it's really hard to decide on, like, okay, like I was working as a community manager, or I wanna start working as a community manager, but how, you know, like how can I show you, like how can I show the next project I want to be part of, like, hey, I'm this and this, and I did this and this, and yeah, it's so hard, and all the biases that's around, like, yeah, it's something we do need to consider. But we're all learning together in Web3, right?
Totally. Well, and I think I don't think we really fully appreciate and then Web3 how new a global economy is, right? Like
Oh,
it's like a game changer, right? Like, but I think that having global community or global economy introduces the global inequity on an individual level, right? So it's like, someone from I don't know, like Singapore might expect something very different than someone from the US or from Brazil. So it's like, how do we now start to coordinate socially and economically when every place in the world is very, very different, whether that be culturally, economically, socially. And I think it introduces a lot more, but not on a state to state level, but on a person to person level through Web3 tech. And I think that only further complicates, and then language barriers, of course, like all these different things. It further complicates like what this looks like, and like what pay people get, yada yada. You get my point. It's just complicated.
Yeah, it's something that it's like there's so many aspects to consider, because I come from like a Web2 kind of like online community management background. So I was working in a co-working space, which is totally different, because you are actually like interacting with people in person. So you are setting up events for them, you are, like having breakfast together. But when you are in this really massive organization where there is like different time sets, and as you said, like this being culturally diverse is like, it can be shown even like how people interact with each other, like how much, like how close they are together, like how different they talk to each other and work. So it's like Web3 community management is like a whole new thing. And
totally. Because historically, Hannah, like the only companies that would be global were massive corporations, right? Like think of like Nestle, think of like, some food corps, some tech corps, right? They're massive and then they scale massively. But now it's like you can have a global organization with 5 people. It's a whole new world, and it's just like a totally different beast that just generationally and historically we've never contended with. But I think that's why things like Wonder, things like Guild are so critical in like bringing the tech, like the addresses that connect all of us on chain, connecting those things together, and then exploring the social, emotional, economic implications of those connections through things like community management, or like organizational management.
Absolutely. And speaking of like sizes of teams, how you are there at Wonder, like how big is or small your core team actually? Like how many people is managing like communities and tech and product and all these things?
So for the community, it's Kim and I, and we manage the Discord, and then Kim also is on the content team. She splits her time, and Juniper, who's our head of content, manages like social media management, as well as some relationships with partners. And then so that's 3 people, and then our product and engineering team is I think 10 people. I think that there's 2 project managers, John being the senior, and then there's a junior one, and then everyone else is a dev. So we have front end, back end, full stack, devs, and then we also actually have engineering contributors through the Wonder app, and then we talk to them in the Discord. So they do a lot of like contributing to the Wonder platform, but they're not on like the company's bankroll. So yeah, it's 12 people, which I think is pretty large. For a Web3 startup, but yeah, we've grown. I was, I think, maybe the 4th or fifth employee. So we've doubled since I started, which is crazy. But yeah, so 12 in total, maybe 13. And yeah, I'm curious, what about Guild?
Oh, actually, you are telling me that like 12 is a lot, right? You said it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I thought that because we are approximately now growing and growing. Like, we just welcomed like one new person in the non-tech team, and we have two more person in the tech team, like one new front end and one back end. And actually, like now we are around 20. And
You're
I was
20
like, oh,
people?
yeah, something like this. And like on
Wow.
the non-tech side, it's only now the three of us. So it's Reka, our new colleague Dorina, and myself.
Yeah. Okay, so it's
So
similar.
yeah.
Wow, you guys are bigger than I don't know. I for some reason felt like it was a lot, but I guess the engineering side needs more people than like at least initially than the community marketing sales side.
Oh yeah, actually, like on the community side, it's like the three of us or something like this, like community and communication, and we have one more person on the business development side, like on the product. So yeah, the others are all devs, which is crazy.
Wow.
I'm shocked because you said like 12 is a lot. I was like, maybe not. It's
Maybe, I
crazy.
guess not. I'm shocked. I mean, I honestly have. I think another thing is I have no clue how big organizations are. Like, I like have no clue like how big companies are. In Web3, I know there's like Coinbase, and those are like massive, right? They're like maybe 1,000 or more employees.
Oh
But
wow.
but I don't know about like I just didn't know about smaller orgs. I'm curious how many Gitcoin has. That'll be an interesting one. Like I just like can't see Gitcoin having more than 100.
I'm gonna ask Ron for you, and then I will
Yeah,
get you.
please do.
I do. Oh, and what about your community? Like, how many of you there now? Like, how
Sure,
big?
yeah.
Because I saw that like you are around like Twitter followers. It's like over like 4,000, 14,000 K.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, so
what about your community on Discord? And
well, it's
shout out
interesting.
like two people managing it. Wow, that's crazy.
So it's interesting because the Discord is it used to be 12,000. But I pruned it because a lot of those people were inactive. So then I pruned it, it went down to 5,000 maybe, and now it's almost back up to 6,000.
Oh,
So
wow.
so it's quite big. And you know, Kim and I are just trying to develop programs and educational stuff, and we run weekly events. So we have, I think, it's 4 or 5 events a week in that Discord, and then we also sometimes do Twitter Spaces with different partners. And Kim and I are also now planning during Orbit 1, which is the kind of we do orbits instead of seasons. We have Orbit 1, 2, etc. We're currently in Orbit 1. We're planning to do an elite tier of the Wanderers community. We would call everyone Wanderers. And we're planning to do an educational deep dive into Web3. So for folks who like are interested in our partners or want to like learn more technicalities about Web3, we're going to do things like potentially read the Uniswap white paper, or read read like Ethereum's white paper, or Polkadot white paper. So we're going to start to do these like kind of foundational skill learning things that I think a lot of people skip over to really understand like Web3 tech. On a more kind of nuanced level. So people, when they're going and talking and educating in other places or within their communities or within their Wonder workspaces, they have a little bit more context. And yeah, so exciting stuff happening in the community, and we're really just getting started because the project launched, then we launched Orbit 1, and before that we did the Alpha Extravaganza, which was all of our alpha partners and spaces with them. So now we're really starting to get into the Orbit 1. We've been doing it for I think 4 weeks, and we're now entering our 5th, and we actually have an NFT drop next week for a space called Explore the Wonderverse on Tuesday. So if anyone wants to check that out, jump into our Discord, and Kim and I will set up the event this afternoon, and we'll be dropping an NFT. So yeah, that's exciting.
This is pretty impressive. Like the two of you, how are managing like the whole community. And by the way, I'm impressed how you managed to have like 5,000, 6,000 people in your Discord. Like how you keep them there. And actually, it seems like you are really engaged to your community. So you actually want the people who are really like in your core community to be there, and you are not like, having anyone else, just only the ones that are really interested in your like values.
Well, what we're thinking actually is using Guild to gate some channels for like our super users or super engaged community members. So like part of our roadmap is using Guild to then make it so we know who is like somebody who's really interested, who is a Wonder Maxi, who loves our platform, loves our community, and wants to participate in events with us. So that's actually something that we're planning to do with using Guild. So I'm really excited when we announce that. That should be super, super fun. But yeah, no, it's definitely it's not easy work, but I really love it, and Kim's amazing at what she does too. So we're really a power team, and yeah, and like I really only see Wonder Community growing, and also I'm excited for people to like give us product feedback in our community, and like so I can communicate that to our core team. So yeah, and also I'm excited that we record everything so then people can come async. We put everything on YouTube, similar to what you guys do, so people can watch after if they miss it. So it's a global community too, and we just added language channels as well. So now we have Russian, Mandarin, and Spanish. And those are gated by roles, so people can pick those and then join their language-based community as well.
I love it. You really are a power team, like the two of you. I'm still shocked. Sorry.
I'm blushing. Thank you.
I'm just like, oh my god, like it's the two of you, and you have so many events setting up, and you're gonna do this and this and this. Love your idea how you wanna gate with us. So we are really, like courses.
We're going to be using Twitter gating and like having people who are the Wonder Maxis or Shillers. We're going to have like we're going to have you like have to put in the user bio, Twitter bio, Twitter username, and then also you have to follow the Wonder page. So we're going to set that up eventually once we have more reason for people to do it, because we don't just want more vanity roles. But anyway, so we're going to set that up, and the only way we're able to do that is through Guild. So I want to give you guys a big +1 for your product, and it's amazing. I'm a huge fan, as you know.
Yeah, you're a Guild Maxi, right?
I am a Guild Maxi, correct.
Of course. Sweet. So looking forward for your new setups and the new opportunities to actually become part of your community, like for the others who are listening us. We talked a bit about your guild setup and what are your plans, but like currently, like the others can know about it also because you already linked the Wonderverse Guild into the stage tab. I would appreciate if like anyone else could do it while I'm talking. Like I'm trying to talk and like put my mind.
I can post it.
Sweet. Actually, if you are listening to us and you check out their guild, they already have the Wonders role set up, which has only one requirement, is to have a wallet. So if you would like to be part of their community, you can just click on their guild and you can get the role by just joining their guild. Or even if you get their Discord invite links and you just click there and you go into their guild, you will actually get the role by yourself without signing anything. Because since you are listening to us now, like I'm talking about the guys that are listening to us on Discord, you already have your account linked. So you have nothing to do. Click on the join button or click on the invite link. And besides the Wonders, you already have like set up the Early Explorer, and it was with your launch, right? When you
Correct.
did really massive campaign, like how does it work? Like how people can actually gain access to this role?
Yeah, so unfortunately, that is no longer open because that NFT was dropped. I think we dropped like 8K.
Oh,
And although they're all minted out, so that's pretty impressive. And that tweet actually went uber viral, which was cool. So
yeah.
props to Juniper and Kim for doing that. But regardless, if you want to, so one thing we love doing as a community engagement tactic is to drop NFTs and POAPs to our community, and we do them like, we have a channel, you can put your address in that channel, and we drop it, and then that will continue getting you more and more vanity rolls. So there's Orbit 1, if you want to go to the Wonder page, Wonderverse Guild page, you can see at Orbit 1, and there's different NFTs. And then we had another roll, OG, which was our preseason, and we dropped NFTs for our preseason as well. So those who got so the people who got those POAPs preseason, they also can get the OG roll. So we have a ton of different like ways of engaging, activating, and also proving on chain when you join the Wonder experience. So the OGs they were there from the beginning before the product even launched. And then Orbit 1 folks were at the first orbit after our launch. So we're going to have Orbit 2, 3, 4, et al. Into infinity. And I think that's a good way to track, like, where were you in this kind of wonder growth experience?
Oh yeah, like layering your community on like time-based base. Yep. Like this, like the OGs are the true alphas who were there before anyone else, And this is amazing. And the early explorers are the ones who were there with the launch.
With the launch, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the NFTs we're dropping currently are going to be Orbit 1. That role is going to get unlocked soon. We just dropped the first one. About 40 people, or actually it was 58 people got that drop. So then the one next week on Tuesday, when we drop that, then we'll start to think about creating the Orbit 1 role in the guilds. And then that will kind of be the marker of people who were there and participated in the community for Orbit 1.
Sweet. So if anyone is interested, like I would definitely recommend you to check out their guild and their Discord. So as a Wonder, you can get like all the info from first hand, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can announce everything on your Discord also. And since we are talking about rewards, I would like to give some rewards to everyone as like ending this session on the positive way, in a positive way, is I asked our lovely team to set up a POAP for anyone who is here, which is a specific Wonder POAP. I love it. I'm gonna be honest, that's my favorite of all time, like how it looks like. So I will just go to our guild and I will send you the POAPs in a second. And I clicked on the wrong button. It's not like I'm spending all of my time on guild, but I still, sometimes I cannot use it. Just a second.
Because I haven't seen this live yet, so I'm excited.
Oh, it's cute. It's really cute. But I just have to upload the links because actually I haven't uploaded the POAP links yet because I was afraid like it's going to be farmed out. You know how it goes. Like if they click on the claim button. So upload links. Sweet. I'm gonna skip the monetization and then I just set up a new channel, which is like with a tiny like purple heart on it. So I'm gonna send the embed there. So then you can get there and let's see.
Ah, I'm so excited.
Oh, it's working. Sweet. So yeah, you can just click on the claim button and you can get your POAP by claim Wonder Community Standup.
Oh, I love the Wonder. I love it. Oh my God, it's so cute.
It is. So I'm gonna just mint my pop. Let's see. Oh, sweet! My pop
Oh
is
my god!
the collection. Love it. I hope.
Oh my gosh. This is so fun. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for being here. I love it. This is such a beautiful pop. I'm gonna take a screenshot of it now. Oh yeah, sweet. Yeah, I can get too excited on cute things, you know? Like
me too. I love cute.
Yeah. So thank you so much again for being here and for jamming with me and showing your product to the community. Actually, on the ending note, I would like to say that we are planning on more events. Like we were thinking about having a Wonder workshop also on our site, on our server. So if you are interested in this, just let us know. I'm gonna even like put out some, like polls where people can vote or something like this, so they can get to know more your product, because we're getting into these workshop kind of things now, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we're gonna have a chat.
Exciting.
Yes. Thank you so much for everyone for being here. I'm going to end this now. If you have any questions, just put it there and we're going to answer afterwards and all these things.
All right. GM, everybody. Have a great afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are in this beautiful world. And until next time.